seen an environment quite like Lexington.
We are always the loudest fans on planet Earth.
There is nothing like a great sports atmosphere. And yeah, watching from your couch is totally fine, but how many times have you watched a game on TV and thought, that would be amazing to go to? Yeah, us too. So we're doing it.
We come here because Kentucky's the standard.
I don't think there's any question that Lexington is the #1 sports town.
We've curated your once-in-a-lifetime bucket list trip to some of the greatest sports destinations in the world.
Quite literally, it is the soul of the town.
But we're not just sitting courtside. We'll show you the most passionate people.
A race day is unlike any other.
The must-see attractions.
Basically moonshine.
Strong. And the local favorites you can't find anywhere else.
Here you go. Take a little bit of that.
I'm Dan, and I'll be your guide along the way. We're coming for the sports, but we are staying for the town.
This is the search for America's best sports city. This is SportsTown.
We're here, Lexington, Kentucky. A couple days early before Kentucky against Arkansas. This game's on Sunday. We're going to see everything this town has to offer.
Lexington, Kentucky has about 750,000 people who call it home, and 99% of them are obsessed with the Wildcats. Lexingtonians bleed blue and love their blue bloods. Horse racing is one of two multi-billion-dollar industries breathing life into the town. The other? We'll come back to it.
We've got 2 days to play with until the basketball game, and you just can't come to Lexington, Kentucky without going to Keeneland. It's one of the most historic thoroughbred racetracks in all of horse racing. I mean, you look up at the grandstand and you can basically hear them yelling, and they're off! And then the horses that I bet on to win definitely do not.
Just 12 minutes from downtown, Keeneland is a 1,200-acre playground not only for the horse enthusiast, but frankly, for anyone who enjoys the finer things in life. The grounds, immaculate. The sightlines, iconic. And any morning, 365 days a year,
this is really cool.
You can walk right up to the track rails and see the horses go to work. But if your life revolves around more Instagrammable moments, they've got you covered.
Horses! Nay! So silly.
Kara Heisenbuttel, far less embarrassing, and the director of patron experience here.
Keeneland is a racetrack that was formed in 1936 by a group of horsemen, and they wanted to create a place where the community could come and enjoy horse racing as it was meant to be. And in our almost 90-year history, we really stayed true to that mission of making sure that we are accessible to the community and continuously inviting fans and making sure that our grounds are open so that everyone feels welcome.
What's it like on a race day here?
A race day at Keeneland is unlike any other. One of the unique things about the way fans like to experience Keeneland is they love to tailgate. I don't know that you see that at many other...
Tailgating a horse race?
That's right, that's right.
Okay.
So they're dressed to the nines out in the field, enjoying the beautiful sunshine and having cocktails. It's so popular that we have a designated tailgate lot called The Hill, where we have a jumbo screen TV, wagering, food trucks, and live music. And there's thousands of fans who will never even make it into the track on the race day. They just enjoy the races while tailgating.
Kentucky is filled with thousands of horses you will never hear of. But just 16 minutes west of Keeneland lies 3,000-acre Coolmore Farm, the equivalent to a living horse hall of fame.
Dan reacts to a Triple Crown winner. Oh my God.
Among the famous horses on the grounds, American Pharoah.
I'm freaking out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
The legend that ended a 37-year Triple Crown drought.
So if you want to pet him at all, you can just come to like this area.
Absolutely, I want to pet him.
And
oh my gosh, American Pharoah.
There's been so few Triple Crown winners, and he is so quiet, but they all physically might be different, but all have something similar. It all takes something very special to win the Triple Crown, because it is the ultimate test of a horse. You know, it's 3 different distances, 3 different tracks. It's like an Ironman for horses.
Michael also helps oversee Pharoah's equally celebrated roommate, a horse whose entire undefeated career lasted just 112 days. Triple Crown winner, Justify. In a business where lineage and breeding mean everything, Justify is absolutely best in show. He has up to 4 breeding sessions a day with stud fees high enough to finance this show for multiple seasons. Which, side note, would be pretty cool.
As a stallion, he has taken over as best stallion in the world on current market form. You know, his kids are winning everywhere.
There you go, boy.
But they know what time it is. They know when it's breeding time and they know when it's feeding time. You know, so they definitely have a body clock.
You cost me so much money, and now I don't like you even more.
Coolmore has spent hundreds of years creating the world's premier horse breeding farm. Its main barn has custom stonework from scratch, imported street lamps from England, 1,200-pound red oak doors, and statues hailing from Napoli, Italy.
Is this the #1 barn for stallions in the world?
I would say it would be up there, definitely. The land is so good here, you know, and this part of Lexington is on a limestone front, and the drainage is unbelievable, and all the big farms set up here because of the land. So that's what's created Lexington and Kentucky as the horse racing capital of the United States and the world.
So we're actually leaving Lexington for the first time we've been here. We're gonna head out about 40 minutes to Buffalo Trace, one of the most well-known distilleries in the world. We're gonna check out what they've got going on there, and then we'll kind of work our way back to Lexington.
Kentucky's known for 3 things: college basketball, horse racing, and bourbon. That beautiful brown liquor that can only be made in America and only be aged in brand spanking new charred oak barrels. The bourbon boom has grown the business into a $9 billion per year behemoth for the Commonwealth.
Welcome to Bourbon Mecca of the world, all right?
And no one does bourbon better than Buffalo Trace. Each day, a few hundred customers line up outside their gift shop to buy a bottle.
You know, after you have bourbon the first time and you get that little something, you start to understand, and then it just keeps bringing you back, bringing you back.
Me and my dad have just had our little moment. Instead of like going and doing something else, bourbon drinking is our father-daughter time. It's great.
First, we're kicking it off with some just little barrel socks. You got to start there, right? Then just have plethora of brands represented on the pants, and then our, you know, tried and true Blantons. So I'm gonna have to look to see if there's like a Taylor sweater to get in there for today.
To truly understand the draw of the drink, we had to bring in a Whiskey Hall of Famer. Freddie, the most famous man in Buffalo Trace.
Dan, how in the heck have you been?
I'm well. This is Freddie Johnson, a big name in bourbon, a 3rd-generation employee of Buffalo Trace. He's a walking, talking, picture-taking bourbon almanac in a comfortable-looking brown jacket.
95% of the world's bourbon is made in Kentucky. Why is that?
Because it's good.
Well, that we know.
It's really just time in a barrel. Yeah. Mother Nature and Father Time doing their thing.
The smell. I mean, this is why you come to Kentucky.
That's the char. We've charred the barrels on the inside. These barrels are waiting to be filled. Monday, by the end of the day, all of these barrels will be full of bourbon. It's whiskey coming off the still, but it's not bourbon until it touches the inside of that newly charred barrel.
Distilling began here all the way back in the 1790s. 235 years later, they make many of the most sought-after bourbons in the world. Pappy Van Winkle, George T. Stagg, E.H. Taylor. No, they're not railroad barons, but you can find them aging gracefully in Warehouse D.
So barrels in a warehouse, just like real estate, location, location, location. So in here, it's like a production line. So you've got old barrels and you've got new barrels. So you can hear All right, so you're losing 3 to 5% per year, and so the longer you leave it in here, the less you're going to have. You only have about 5 gallons left in the barrel, and you started with 53.
What's your favorite thing about bourbon?
The opportunity to spend some time with someone you enjoy their company. It's a good bourbon is just a sipping bourbon. You don't shoot it, and you don't bring it out with people you don't like.
Bourbon's meant to be shared.
It is.
As
it
we
is.
say.
But you want to share good bourbon.
And with good people.
Yes.
Right?
They may not remember the pour, but Dan, they'll always remember how you made them feel by letting them know they're just as special as everyone else in the room.
The best part about the Kentucky Bourbon Trail is the individual beauty of each distillery. On our way back to Lexington is Castle and Key, the home of a 534-foot rack house, the longest of its kind in the world, holding more than 35,000 barrels of brown liquor. You'll also find a barrel for thieving, which is the process of removing the bunghole of a barrel and pulling out your own bourbon, which is a lot more difficult than it looks.
Let's do it like you mean it.
I think we're running out of booze.
Or we need a new host.
Oh, of course. That was by far the best one. You were on my face. Well, that was a good one. Yeah. That's mine.
This unbelievable selfishness. With a light on my head.
And what's your review? Give us your review.
It is lovely. It is really, really... The chill is...
Yeah, the chill is nice.
The chill is really nice.
Back in Lexington, James E. Pepper distills the magic of bourbon making into one building. Basically moonshine. Their booze is distilled, filled, and bottled, all in-house. Strong. So what am I trying here?
So you're trying a single barrel proof, straight out of the barrel bourbon.
Oh my God, that's so smooth. That is good. It is. That is unbelievably smooth. Across the street from Pepper sits RD1, with an owner you may find roaming the sidelines Saturdays in the fall.
It is the off season, and I'm allowed to enjoy some good Kentucky bourbon here.
Any sort of off season that exists in college football, although there doesn't seem to be much of one.
Not much of one these days, that's for sure.
All right,
but
well, cheers.
Cheers.
What makes a good bourbon? What goes into that?
Just something that tastes good for me.
Okay.
I'm just a simple football coach, but I'm living in Kentucky for 12 years. You obviously acquire a taste for the bourbon, and so when in Rome, right?
How do you define a sports town?
Well, I think...
I'm going to keep drinking.
You go right ahead and enjoy yourself. I think the first thing with a sports town is where everybody gets into it. One thing I love about this place is that they are all in the Kentucky Wildcats in every sport. I obviously travel around and have to recruit and hit different parts of the country, and everybody's interested in Kentucky bourbon, hitting the bourbon trail, and coming and watching some horse racing.
So is Lexington, Kentucky the #1 sports town in America?
Well, I don't think there's any question that Lexington is the #1 sports town. Just take a good look around and take in some games, and I think you will see that.
Let's walk off all that whiskey. Our vivacious friend Aaron Goins curates the Bites of the Bluegrass tour, showcasing the very best places to grub in downtown Lexington.
Well, I started Bites of the Bluegrass because we have so many great local, just authentic eateries here in Lexington, especially in our downtown space. And it's such a cool way for locals and visitors to connect. Visitors, we're often known for the wrong things, so this is a great chance to break down some of those stereotypes and really show them what a progressive, beautiful town that we live in. And for locals, it's a great reason to get out and break their routines, explore their own backyards.
Today's stop, Salt and Vinegar, featuring Appalachian-influenced cuisine from Chef Greg Spalding, who likes to bring old world ideas in food into the 21st century.
Today we are making Bratwurst from scratch. It's called the Bratwurst and Mash. It's very much a play off of Bangers and Mash, which is old school pub food from across the pond. So we've already got our Bratwurst pre-cured, and now we're just casing it. So as this comes out,
we're just gonna turn it around. I can do that. I can do that. I'm your sous chef. You feel free to get after me if you have to.
Well, just don't let it fall on the floor. And
sure.
And don't pull too hard where it breaks the
I gotta find a happy medium.
There you go.
Happy medium. There it is.
All we're doing is marking it up on the grill, giving it some smoke from the flame. Smells good.
That's
too,
beautiful
doesn't
meat.
it? Yeah.
You got beautiful meat. What can I tell you? All right, so the sausage is ready.
Sausage,
now, what's this? What do we have?
Sausage is ready. This is our whipped potatoes that we make every morning. So again, highly steeped. You can smell it. All the herbs and the fresh garlic. Our au jus gravy. It is a white gravy. It is made with milk, but it comes out this beautiful brown color due to the really rich pork stock that we make right here in-house.
It's like a gravy volcano, just cascading over the side of the potato mountain.
We top it with this gorgeous bratwurst.
Oh my God.
And then for the snow peas, put a little salt and pepper. A little deglaze with our homemade pickle juice.
Okay.
And then we hit it with a little bit of sea salt. And that's the dish.
There you go. My first Appalachian dish. I mean, it looked amazing back there. They used to tell me when I worked in local news, never eat on camera, but I don't work there anymore. I might move to the mountains. I might call it a career living in cities and just move right into the mountains. With any good food tour, it always ends with dessert. And fortunate for us, we have a very special guest waiting for us. We are joined by multiple-time James Beard nominee, restaurateur, and the queen of Kentucky cuisine. It is, of course, Chef Rita Michael. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for calling me the queen of Kentucky cuisine.
I mean, not something I made up. That's what everybody says. You walk in the door and everyone says, have you met the queen? Have you met the queen? Have you met the queen? These look absolutely incredible.
This is a chocolate peanut butter pie. So it's peanut butter mousse and a chocolate crust.
I've locked in on this one, but I do want to hear about the other ones.
You might like that. I pegged you for a peanut butter guy.
You were right.
And then this is a sour cream apple crumb pie. And then this is a chocolate bourbon torte. It's a very dense, very chocolatey dessert. I'll sacrifice my figure on the altar of peanut butter pie.
Here you go. Take a little bit of that. Here you go. I'm just gonna go right in your mouth. I don't care. Go for it. Go for it. And?
That was very good.
Yeah? Give me like a little yes.
Lexington is a boom town right now, and it's super exciting to be a part of. What really excites me is to see young people coming back into the business. That was missing for the last few years, but now I feel like the last 2 years we've seen a really strong resurgence of young chefs, which makes me very happy.
On top of all of your accolades as a chef, you are also a national champion debater from the University of Kentucky.
Yes.
So you're
the
a big
debating Wildcats.
Why is Lexington, Kentucky the #1 sports town in America?
First, I have to say, as a basketball fan, #1 college basketball team in America. I know we don't win it all every year, but damn, going to a game at Rupp Arena, there's really no other college arena in the country that can lay claim to what they can put down. It's really exciting.
I guess it's time to find out.
It is game day in Lexington, Kentucky. Rupp Arena is live. We've got the Wildcats. We've got the Razorbacks. Let's go see what all the fuss is about. Come on.
We've got the best basketball team in the nation.
You gotta get the ice cream.
I had not heard that before.
The ice cream's amazing.
Is what catapults you to the top.
Yes, it puts you up there.
Kentucky has the most wins of any college basketball program. They have the second most national titles.
We're here.
And in a state with no professional teams, the Cats are always the biggest game in town. Big Blue Nation shows up and shows out.
Kentucky is the standard for college basketball. We are everyone's Super Bowl.
It is the best atmosphere in college basketball. We are always the loudest fans on planet Earth.
Everybody bleed blue. That's just how it is here, and that's every single person you meet.
Within this box, the contents of this box, lies one of the coolest traditions in all of college basketball, and the awesome student section of Kentucky is going to let us take part.
Few things can top the pageantry of college sports. The band, the atmosphere. But at the end of the day, Only one thing truly matters here.
Arkansas cannot miss.
Kentucky's down 2 right now, 11:30 left. Kentucky's actually down 74-72. We've got a great finish coming up. Crowd's getting a little restless. Let's see what happens.
Big Blue rallies and brings the crowd right along with them.
Right back.
The last 4 days in Lexington have been amazing. Spending time with our equine heroes, learning from legends of the bourbon industry, and peanut butter pie with the Queen. The best part is you can do all of these things too. All you have to do is go.
But is Lexington the #1 sports town in America? Or is your town the #1 sports town in America? Let us know, and maybe we'll just come to you. See you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. Our show, SportsTown, really only gets made because of people like you. So please subscribe, like, and engage with us, and please send the show and our content to people who you think may like it.